All right. Well, we got an interesting development, people. We got an interesting development. I'll put the camera on in a second, but we got a really interesting development. I get up early this morning. I fire the computer up that's gonna stream to the court TV, the court proceedings to the Roku channel. I fire up the second computer that's gonna fucking stream the proceedings to fucking Rumble. And then all of a sudden, the channel that I streamed the Karen Reed trial, all of a sudden on YouTube, they delete their fucking live stream. So I'm like, oh, that's great. That's great. Didn't say anything in the chat, just, when you get the old thing, this video is not available, and then you look at the chat, and the chat's disconnected. So you refresh the page, you're like, what the hell happened here? And then you refresh the page, and it says, oh, live stream of video removed by the uploader. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on with this network? So I switch over to the backup network, and I see this big fucking banner on the bottom of the screen. Matter of fact, I'll show it right here. I'll show it right here. The backup. So I go to the backup source where I'm streaming the trial from. And we're not going to talk about the whole trial during this whole fucking video. But I just want to give you my vibes on it. So I switch over to the backup live stream where I get the Karen Reed trial. When one network fails, you have to have a backup because you got to be able to switch them just like that. Because you don't want to go down when you're restreaming the channel and the channel goes down and you're restreaming the court case. You don't want to miss any of the questioning. So you're going to have a backup where you can switch to it at a snap of a finger. So when I switched to the backup, I saw this. This is what we saw, people. This is what we saw. Let's see. I think that's the right monitor. Allow. Look at this. And this is a screenshot of the backup stream I went to. And look at this. Look at this right here. Look what this says down the bottom. Just in. No Karen Reed court today. That's what this network was streaming. So that's why the other network took their live stream down. Now, the reason why I titled this video, No Court Today, is there's something wrong with the judge. Everybody knows that I've been streaming the Karen Reed trial on my Rumble channel, on my Roku channel. Okay? You don't have to go to my channels to go look at the information. You can go look at the information yourself. And I know there's a lot of people out there that say, well, I'm not going to sit through hours and hours and hours and hours of court proceedings just so I can see if Emo is right. Well, if you got a computer that's fast enough, go back the last 3 days of the Karen Reed trial and look at the judge. She's looking ragged. She's looking tired. She hasn't been looking good, people. She has not been looking good. I've noticed it with the last 3 days of this Brannick guy, this Sergeant Brannick. from the Massachusetts State Police. During the last 3 days of her of the testimony of the Sergeant Brannick, this judge has looked like total dog shit sitting at the bench. It is in my opinion that you know why there's no court today in the Karen recount case, because I think something happened to the judge. How many times in the last 3 or 4 days did I tell you the judge didn't look right, mate? Tell the class.
Quite a few.
Make sure I can hear you.
Quite a few.
She has not been looking right. You got to realize the judge is 67 years old. She's almost up to Massachusetts mandatory retirement age. That's right. Massachusetts has a fucking mandatory judicial mandatory age that when she turns 70, she can no longer be a judge. She comes up for re-election this fucking June for another 4 years, 4-year term. I don't think number one, if she tries to run for another 4-year term, she will be over the statute of limitations. She will have to retire in less than 3 fucking years. She's been on that bench the last 3 or 4 fucking days, looking like absolute fucking dog shit. I don't think she's in very good health, people. And now today, I get up, I get the computers running, I'm ready to live stream, and no fucking judge. I think something happened to the judge. Now, this is another question because I'm not a fucking lawyer. I don't know what goes on. I like lawyers. I like watching court. I know I know how some of the shit goes on as far as, making motions and arguing in court. I know how some of that shit goes on. But what I want to know what happens, and this is only hypothetical now. I'm not fucking saying this. This is a hypothetical situation. What would happen in the Karen Reed trial if they are now, today was supposed to be day 15. 15 days into the trial, and all of a sudden the judge croaked. Do they get to bring in this is what I want to know from the class, and I'll leave the comments open for all you lawyers out there that might know what the fuck's going on. If something happened to the judge where she's dead, or she's incapacitated, or she's no longer able to do the trial, and you're in the 15th day of the proceedings, does that mean now we got to start all over again? Or can they just replace the judge? This is what I want to know. Can they just replace the judge, or do they got to start the whole fucking trial all over again for a third time? Can a judge be changed in the middle of a fucking court case? That's what I need to know. Because like I said, this woman has not looked good the last 2 or 3 days on live stream. So like I said, if the Karen Reed trial is boring to you, if you would rather do other things like hang out with the drama bodies and troll people and all this other shit, and you got more than one monitor on your computer and you got the capacity to do it, just go to any of the channels that have been streaming the Karen Reed trial. And look at the and pick any day within the last 3 or 4 days of court testimony and look at the judge. She has not been looking good on that bench. And now today, I get the computer. See, the other computer right here for the Roku channel is running. Other computer's right over there. See, I'm trying to see if I can get you guys over there. Okay. I can't really show it, but it's down the bottom here. The monitor of it is over here. I'm touching the monitor over here. Okay. Of the other computer. Can't really see it. So now the Roku one is back to normal. It's playing a fucking movie. So you know where my Roku channel is? It's playing Firebirds, 1990. Firebirds, 1991 with Nicolas Cage, Tommy Lee Jones, and Sean Young. That's what the other computer over here is doing. So the Roku stream is still live, but it's back to playing movies, what it's normally used for. Because with a banner on the bottom saying, sorry, no Karen Reed trial today. But she has been on that bench looking absolutely terrible. So if something happened to the judge, do we got to start over again? Please do not tell me we got to start all over again. I cannot handle listening to another 3 days of Sergeant Brannick running his mouth from the Massachusetts State Police. I can't handle another day of that. I can't. I can't. I hope they don't have to start the trial over again. I can't do it, people. If they're going to start the trial over again, I'm fucking out. So, like I said, I don't know what's going on. They're not telling anybody what's going on. Everybody's being secretive. Everybody's keeping their mouth shut. Nobody's saying nobody's saying why there's no court today. Court TV's got a big banner on the bottom saying no court today. Law and Crime Network's got a big banner on the bottom of the stream saying no Karen Reed trial today. And a few other networks are doing the same thing. But nobody is telling anybody why there's no court. So I'm giving you my opinion why I think there's no court, because the judge has looked absolutely terrible for the last 3 or 4 days in court. Now, the other thing I want everybody to do is I want you to go to my community tab. There's also a possibility, a conspiracy theory, that evidence has been switched in the Karen Reed trial. Because on one of the last 3 days of that Massachusetts State Police guy being on the stand, guess what happened? Guess what happened? They were opening up bags of evidence. He pulls out this shoe in court. Now get this now. The sergeant pulls out the shoe out of an evidence bag. The shoe looks squeaky clean. Looks brand fucking new. The shoe that they pull out of the evidence bag has a white soul on it. A white soul on it. You know, like this shoe has a pink soul on it. Well, one of the conspiracy theory channels that I came across, when they show the sneaker on the side of the road where John O'Keefe was found, the shoe has a black sole. The shoe is all covered with mud. The shoe is all filthy and dirty. The shoe sole is black. But when the detective miraculously pulls the shoe out of the fucking bag, the shoe looks brand fucking new and has a white sole. How does that happen if somebody ain't fucking with the evidence? How does that happen if Karen Reed is not being fucking framed, people? And that fucking video is in my community tab right fucking now. I dare everybody to go watch it. How does a shoe come out of an evidence bag looking brand fucking new with a white sole, but yet the crime scene photos show a fucking shoe with a black sole? And the shoe in the crime scene photo is beat the fuck up, but the shoe that comes out of the evidence bag is brand fucking new. Really? Another thing I noticed, that in this case, they seem to have more taillight evidence. Because when they went by the first trial, when they showed the taillight evidence, the broken taillight of the fucking Lexus, okay? They did not have a lot of fucking red plastic. But I noticed this trial, all of a sudden they have bigger pieces of a taillight. More pieces of a red taillight. Somebody fucked with the evidence in this case, people. Because the evidence from the first case is not matching the evidence in the second case. So how does that happen? How does a fucking shoe miraculously change color? That's what I want to know. How does a shoe miraculously change color? And go from a beat up, filthy, muddy, filthy thing to a brand new pristine shoe when it comes out of a bag. How does that happen, people? How does that happen? She's being framed. And now, all of a sudden today, there's no court. And the judge, the last 3 or 4 days of the court proceedings that I watched, she's up there on the bench. She's got I've seen her there were several shots where she's got her glasses off and she's just on the bench like in a fucking daze. And then all of a sudden today, it gets announced that there's no court and nobody's saying why. I think I know why. I think something happened to the judge. Because she hasn't been looking right on the stand lately. And I think she's going to retire after the Karen Reed trial anyway, because she's almost to the mandatory age of Massachusetts requirement for a judge. That's right. You turn 70, you're automatically out. She loses her job at 70. Massachusetts has a mandatory retirement age.
Hello?
It's a known fact, people. So, like I said, there's certain things that are not adding up in this case. And now if something happened to the judge in the middle of a trial, do we get to just insert a new judge and continue? Or do we got to start all over again for the third time? I said I wasn't going to do this Karen Reed bullshit a second time. What makes you think I want to listen to that asshole detective go on for almost 4 fucking days on the stand again? So I dare everybody to go to my community post. My community, I know they changed it to posts now, but I used to like I liked it when YouTube called it a fucking community tab. I don't like the way that they call it a post now. I don't like that at all. But yeah, go watch this video. Go watch this video. I want to know how a shoe that's all muddy and dirty with a black sole all of a sudden comes out of an evidence bag, all nice and clean, with a white sole on it. And go look at the taillight evidence in the first trial and look at the taillight evidence now. They've added more taillight evidence to the evidence bags. She's being framed, people. Come on. No doubt in my mind, she's being framed. Go look at that link, I dare you. The one I just put in the link. How does a shoe change color? That's what I want to know. How the fuck does a shoe automatically change color? So, like I said, if you go to my Court TV channel on Rumble, that's fine. It's all right if you want to, watch the videos over there. Or go to any other live stream that's streaming the Karen Reed trial and look at how the judge is like, she's been in a stupor for 3 fucking days. Hasn't she?
Yep.
So I'm wondering if something's wrong with the judge, people. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not saying something happened to the judge. I'm just saying that's the vibe I'm getting, that something happened to the judge. That's the notion I'm getting. The official reason why they canceled court today has not been released yet. So, like I said, can I, is it all the way up? Okay. So I can move this over here so people can see it. So, like I said, I got the Roku channel running right here. The Roku channel's running right there. It's running on that computer. And the Roku channel right now, for the people that know where the Roku channel is, it's playing Firebirds, 1991 movie with Nicolas Cage, Tommy Lee Jones, and Sean Young. And then on the bottom of the fucking video, underneath the video, I got Prism Live, which is streaming the movie with a banner that says Karen Reed trial, no court today. It's on the screen on my Roku channel. So, yeah, the Roku channel is up and running. It's right over there. Because I had to play something. You know? For the, so that computer, all that computer's doing is streaming that one movie. That's all that computer's doing right now. Because that's all that piece of shit can handle. Just like this piece of shit is only doing this live stream. So, yeah. But I think something happened to the judge. And like I said, it doesn't look good, people. It doesn't look good. And like I said, go watch the video. Go watch this video and tell me how a shoe changes color. That just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense, people. It doesn't make sense. All right, so I know I'm not getting many viewers on this live stream because I see a lot of people don't give a shit about the Garrett retrial. That's all right, but it is what it is. Hi, Desert Goat. How do you? Yep, Desert Goat's in here. He says, "Yep, cops do lie. Obviously, cops do lie." So I wasn't paying attention to the chat in the beginning of the live stream because I just wanted to get that out there. But yeah, I don't care. Nightbot tried to remove somebody. Why is Nightbot on again? I thought I got rid of him. Stupid Nightbot. I don't care about this right now. I don't really care about the Diddy trial. I can care less about the Diddy trial. Now I know I'm dating myself here. In the early 90s. Quick thing, so I can tell you this, and then I'm gonna get out of here so you guys can do whatever you want to do and get on with your lives. I don't want to be here all day. So in the early 90s, I don't remember where it fucking came from. What year? Well, excuse me. In the 80s, late 80s, 90s, I don't remember what year it was released. Excuse me. That's the proper word. I don't know when it was released. But there was a movie called Dick Tracy. And the villain gets mad, and the villain says, "Everywhere I turn, it's Tracy, 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 Tracy." And he was pissed off that everywhere he turns, it's Dick Tracy here, Dick Tracy there, Dick Tracy here. And it's one of the lines in that movie in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't remember the year it came out. Maybe somebody would put it in my chat. Because I know I watched it a couple of times and didn't care for the movie. That's why I don't remember the actual date. See, one of my biggest problems is when you bring something up over and over and over and over again. Like everywhere I turn, Tracy, 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 Tracy. And I'll give you a little bit of what I'm talking about. We had this case with Jeffrey Epstein or Epstein or however the fuck you say his name. And he had this island, and everybody knows what he was doing on the island, right? It wasn't good shit that he was doing on the island. That guy's only famous because people blew it up and kept going everywhere I turned. It was Epstein, 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 Epstein. For years on the internet, Epstein, 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 over and over and over again. Like everywhere I turned, Dick Tracy, Dick Tracy, Dick Tracy. They turned a molehill into a mountain with Epstein. It shouldn't have had as much attention as it had. And that was like that movie, that guy in Dick Tracy saying, everywhere I turn, I see Epstein, 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 Epstein. Because that's giving the case attention. You know, the guy was a no good piece of shit. He's burning in fucking hell now. He's burning in fucking hell where he fucking belongs. He was a piece of shit. And I didn't need to see Epstein, 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 everywhere I fucking turned on the internet. Right? Same thing with Diddy. Now it's Diddy, 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 Diddy. I don't give a fuck about Diddy. I don't give a fuck about Diddy. Again, they're blowing up Diddy like they did with Epstein. Or Epstein, however the fuck you can say his name. I don't give a fuck about Diddy. Diddy is a black piece of trash, in my opinion. He's always been a black piece of trash, in my opinion. Keep him off of my news feed. Keep him out of my goddamn YouTube. I don't give a fuck about Diddy. You know, it's just like, and when they keep bringing shit up over and over and over and again, it really bugs my ass. I'll give you another one. The people in Columbine can never have fucking peace. The families in Columbine can never get over the school shooting. The families in Columbine can never get over the tragedy. Why? Because every time a cocksucker pulls out a gun in a school, what's the first thing they compare it to? It's Columbine. Every time there's been a goddamn school shooting, the first thing that comes out of within the 10 minutes of the news report, the next thing that comes out of the people's mouth is, it's like Columbine. They keep bringing up Columbine over and over and over and over and over again. Keep bringing up Sandy Hook over and over and over and over again. Keep Sandy Hook out of your goddamn mouth. Keep Columbine out of your fucking mouth. Every time there's an incident at a school, don't keep bringing that fucking case up over and over and over and over again, so these cocksucking families can never heal, because every time there's an incident at a school, they're going to compare it to Sandy Hook and Columbine. Really, people? Are you serious? And like I said, people think Columbine was the first one. Columbine wasn't the first one either. The town I live in right now, the city that I live in right now, in 1973, there was a school shooting in the city that I live in now, and 2 students got killed in it. In 1973, it's the same fucking year I was born. So yes, There were school shootings before Columbine because 2 people died right here in the city in a high school in 1973. It wasn't as bad as Columbine, but it was pre-Columbine. And I'll even give you some more details on it. One student was killed and a cop was killed. And a third person was shot but survived. Okay? Happened in this town that I live in right now. 1973, people. Google it. They'll probably know where the fuck I am now. Because it happened. Yep, one of them was a police officer that died. Because one student was shot at, the police officer was sent to the school, and then the shooter and the police officer had a shootout with each other, and they wound up both dead. The police officer and the student who had the gun. And the victim that he went after with the gun survived the incident. Came real close to being 3 people in that. Oh yeah. And that happened right in my city, 1973. So don't think Columbine was the first, because it wasn't the first. I'm just being honest. So, anyways, all right, I'm going to get out of here. And I'll let you guys have a better day. Have a good day today. And if it can't have a good day today, have a better tomorrow, as Bon Helton says. And as always, stay safe, be well, take care of yourself and each other. I will look at the comments one more time to see if anything I missed. Yeah, so Diddy on trial doesn't interest me. Sorry. There's a goat said hi. Lisa says hi. Oh, now I know somebody's saying Cameron is very sick. Who knows? All right, New Digs. There you go. New Digs was in the house. Yeah, my cash app is in my description. Does it, goat? I'll let you know. Yeah, somebody's talking about the Diddy trial again. I'm not interested in the Diddy trial. Not interested in that at all. All right, so I went back through. No, I'm not going to cover the BDD trial. All right, I'll see you guys later.